Mr. Williams, we are so excited to have you. You have just been officially voted in as the new city manager of Beaumont. So this is your first opportunity to get to know the community, tell the community about yourself. What do you want the people to know?
Well, first of all, I'm really excited about this opportunity and being able to work with the city of Beaumont. I like to thank the city council for their consideration and doing and making this decision in my behalf. But before I go too far, also like to acknowledge a couple of people, and one would be in Kyle Hayes, the prior city manager of the city of Beaumont, for the fantastic work that Kyle did for the 15 years or so there. It's a tough job anywhere in any city, so what he did, I commend him. And likewise, I'd like to commend Chris Boone for the interim job that Chris has done. He stepped in a time of transition, and transition is not easy. So uh, he's done a great job to hold things together, and I'd like to thank both of those gentlemen before I go too far. But it's an exciting time for me. It's a good time, a time of opportunity, something I'm looking forward to. So I'm excited right now.
Great. Tell us about your background. Where are you from? What roles have you had? What prepared you for this opportunity?
Well, my background, I'm a native East Texan, so I do know about East Texas. And so that's one of the things that intrigued me there with Beaumont. I was born and raised in Lufkin, Texas. I was a fifth generation Angelina County in Lufkin. Actually, my great great grandmother was raised in Tyler County, and she and her family walked up to Angelina County many, many years ago, until the rest is history. Uh, I worked with the city of Lufkin in local government for 18 and a half years. So I spent most of my career actually in Lufkin. People think of Buda, but most of my career was spent in Lufkin. And likewise, city manager in Diboll, and then with the city of Buda. Some of the common things I have 34 years in local government experience. I got involved with it. I initially applied for the fire department as a young person, and right before I was getting coming up the list on civil service to be chosen, uh, this other opportunity came up in a different department, so I went with that, and kind of the rest is history. But uh, long career in local government, and most of it's in East Texas.
I think one of the most unique parts about your resume is how many different facets of local government you have been involved with. I think that really brings a lot to the table, that you've worked in everything from emergency management to public works to community development. Like, how has that really played a role in understanding how these municipalities work?
That's been great, Lauren, because I've had the opportunity to learn from the ground up uh, through the organization. So I know all aspects of local government. I actually started with the city as an inspector, believe it or not, low many years in the code enforcement office, and worked my way through the organization into the community development department, then public works, and then assistant city manager, and also the emergency management coordinator. So all of that was vital, very vital in me forming myself as a city manager, to know the different facets of local government and the things we need to do, as for whether it was infrastructure or financial, or whatever, or responding to emergencies. So it was key.
What do you love about being a city manager?
The best thing I like about being a city manager is the ability to assist people or help people resolve their issues. It gives you great pleasure to be able to assist someone, no matter who it is, and no matter how small or how large that issue may be. But when you're able to do that, it gives me and my servant heart a great pleasure to do. Of course, there are times you can't always do that, and sometimes you have to tell people no, unfortunately. But when I'm able to do that, it brings me great pleasure.
I love it. What are some of your standout achievements or projects you're proud of?
In Lufkin, two of my bigger projects. One was as the emergency coordinator, and I was likewise an assistant city manager, was the response to Hurricane Rita. Hurricane Rita was a colossal event that came through on the heels of Hurricane Katrina. So there was a lot of consternation and general panic with the population from Louisiana into Texas. And so you had millions of people leaving the Texas coast, which created all types of issues because they saw what happened with Katrina in New Orleans. And so we were able to respond and provide sheltering and food and for people coming off the Texas coast. But likewise, the hurricane came through Lufkin with hurricane force winds. So we had to respond to a hurricane, but also shelter tens of thousands of people. So that was great. Also, the response to the space shuttle disaster. Lufkin was the host city for that with our civic center. It was the emergency operations center. So working with the different agencies, state, federal, local agencies was quite a task. And Buda, a lot of the things, some of the things we did, one was with the police department. My initiating and creating the police department. Believe it or not, the city was contracting police service at the time. And as I got there and analyzed it, I recommended to city council that, hey, let's do our own. We can do it better. And so we basically put it together and was at one point called one of the safest cities in the United States there. And then economic development. We had some success with economic development through annexations. At the time, we were able to annex key properties, industries into the city, which brought tremendous amount of revenue. The Texas Lehigh plant, which is located in Buda, and also work with things like the Cabela's tours. I wasn't there when it started, but I had to uh, um, initiate it. I had to work with it. And then we had some key projects such as the Amazon Distribution Center and US Foods Distribution Center coming into town.
That Cabela's project was a big deal. It really became a model for one of the Texas economic development projects, correct?
Yes, I didn't realize how big a deal Cabela's was until I moved there. It's more of a happening. It's a destination for a lot of people, particularly at that time when it was new, because people came from all over to shop to it, at it. Now it's the tours. It's more than just the building Cabela's World Outfitters itself. It also includes hotels on the same site. There are two hotels on that site. There are many restaurants on that site. Uh, and it was quite a partnership. That tours created revenues and dollars, whereby Cabela's built a water tower and donated to the city, built streets and donated them to the city. So it was quite a windfall for the city, and it became the largest sales tax producer um, for the city of Buda at the time, even with some of the economic development incentives that were offered back to them. You know, they got incentives for the hotel motel tax. They got incentives for some of the sales tax, and likewise property tax. But when that goes away in 2026, it's going to really be a tremendous amount of revenue for the city. It's already a lot of revenue, but it's going to be a tremendous amount.
That's great. So transitioning a little bit from your background to this specific role, what attracted you to this opportunity and excites you about Beaumont?
Well, again, part of it's East Texas. I kind of wanted to get back to East Texas too. But Beaumont, I think I see some things there and some of the challenges, and I think I have a unique skill set for it. It's a city with great potential. I mean, really great potential, and it has the resources to reach that potential. And as you know, and as I always say, my goal is to make it the best city in the country. of the world for that matter. We don't want to be the best city in Texas. We want to be the best city in the country at a minimum. And we have the ability to do that, and it's not that hard. Believe me, it's not that hard. People say, well, it can be done, but then things impossible until it's done. Then it's not impossible anymore. So we just need to believe that we can do it and get out and get it done. But yeah, it was quite attractive to me. It was a larger city for me, I'll be honest, and I wanted the ability to work with people to solve some of the issues there.
I love it. I think a lot of citizens would be very happy if we all of a sudden became the best place in the world to live. That's quite quite an
Yeah,
accolade.
yeah. I'm on the International City Managers Association board, and so I get to visit a lot of cities and interact with a lot of people. And when you get there and you observe what they've done, they didn't start out. It's the best, but it just takes good planning, good activity, people working together, and you'd be surprised what you can accomplish.
Absolutely. And you're being very humble too. You're also president of the Texas City Management Association and a whole host of other accolades.
I was fortunate enough. I was actually president in 2019, 2020 of the Texas City Managers Association. My peers of city managers and assistant city managers, et cetera, around the state of Texas elected me to that position. I really thank them for having the trust in me to represent the organization. And part of it was really difficult because it was during the time of COVID and cities were in a lot of limbo. So I was able to provide feedback and info to the members on how we could get to it. So I think I have some things on their website or whatever that I published at the time, or wrote at the time, to encourage cities and to assist them in getting through COVID. So it's quite an experience. Yeah, I've been the president of National Forum of Black Public Administrators too. That's a national board I've been fortunate enough to be on. So um, I've stayed busy, so but I've enjoyed. But it helps to build relationships and opportunities for the cities I've worked with, uh, and the networking. It makes it so much easier to be able to pick up a phone and talk to people and get that information rather than just sitting there trying to solve it all the time. When I can pick up the phone and talk to the chief executive officer in Cleveland, Ohio, or I can talk with um, the with James in Charlotte, North Carolina, or whatever. It just makes it so much easier to have those conversations and know those people before you need them.
Absolutely. So the burning question, what is your vision for Beaumont? What do you hope to accomplish as city manager?
And I have a great vision for Beaumont. But first, I think I'd probably like to do, I want to do a SWOT analysis. I want to be able to look down and look at the city and analyze it and talk to people. I want to be able to talk to everyone in the city that I can possibly. Of course, city council for sure, all employees. I like to meet with every employee and have a conversation with them and see what those things are. I want to listen. I want to gather information. I want to discuss. I want to be able to know the things that definitely impact the city as I get there. But then, after you get that information, there are things you have to do. Of course, as I always say, I want it to be that best city in the country. So we just have to do the things to get there with that as far as being the best city. Um, my vision, um, basically build a strong foundation. We have a strong organization, a city organization, but make it stronger. A house is stronger when the foundation is strongest. So getting an organization, analyzing the city itself, and getting things shorter, so to speak, to where we can be able to go out and conquer and do and get things done. Uh, Vision, I like to do some strategic planning in all facets. I think in Buda we really did a lot of strategic planning uh, in all facets, but it actually prepares you uh, when you get ready to get things done. So it gives you, it's hard to know where you're going if you don't know how to get there. So it identifies those issues and things that we can solve before we can get there for sure. But of course, I again and want it to be the best place to live, work, and play as far as place, for families to have an excellent quality of life. Quality of life is a term we don't hear much, but until you experience it, uh, it's kind of in the background. But I've had the experience of being able to live in a place with an excellent quality of life, with life simple pleasures, with proper amenities, with being a safe city, and you're not worried about the safety of your city and being there. And then as far as people to work, economic development, let's do the economic development things we need to do where people will have well-paying jobs, and industry will be able to partner with the city and local government to get things done. And but not only as we go out and recruit new business, which is certainly a priority, we work with those existing businesses to help them with their needs and to retain their businesses and uh, support them in what they want to do. And then just be able to play and have fun, enjoy sports, recreation, and have a good place to live there.
Sounds like an ideal place to me. I would hope everyone would be able to get behind that vision.
Okay. Yeah, just maintain that course, maintain fiscal responsibility, be strong financially, from strong city, continue to improve there, then just be successful, and then brand that success. We have to create a brand, um, and people say, what is that? But basically, people have to know who you are. You have to brand. If we have certain things, they know that it's Beaumont. If they look at the screen, they know that it's Beaumont. They know our catchy phrases. So my goal is to make Beaumont a brand and have one of the best brands there is in cities that people will want to live in, play in, companies want to relocate to, and all the like.
I love it. I can't wait to see it. Any closing thoughts? Anything else you want the people to know? Any potential misconceptions you want to clear up? I
Misconceptions.
know.
Okay.
Internet's fun, right?
Yeah, that's always a fun thought. Uh, I guess one or two. I guess one first one's about Buda. I think people think Buda's just a little town, and this guy's coming from some little city and not doing this, but actually, I mean, Buda's a pretty dynamic city. It's actually connected to Austin. It's not. The capital is 15 minutes, was 15 minutes from my office. Austin was not. So Austin was 1 million people, and we were connected to a city with 1 million people to our north. And it sit on I-35, which is the most traveled highway in the state of Texas. And we had San Marcos and Cal to our left. So it was much more. It wasn't your typical small city. It was a small town with big city issues, and so we had to really work to get some things done like that. Um, um, uh, Couple of things, just some general things, and certainly I want to keep things positive, but I want all employees to know that they're in a really good place, and I really value the employee relationship, and I look forward to working with everyone in the city of Beaumont, every employee. Again, I want to meet with them and talk with them. I'm not coming there with to be a change agent to do things with employees. So I don't want any employees to be concerned about their job. I'm coming there to work with everyone to take that knowledge, experience, and let's go. Hey, let's go and be accountable, and let's get through this thing together. I can't do it by myself. The employees are who make it happen, without a doubt. So there's no employee at the city of Beaumont that I have some type of mandate to it. So that's simply not true. It's not true at all. And I've always had an excellent relationship with all of my employees in all departments, and you get to see that.
Love it. Well, I'm excited to work with you. I can't wait to see what you bring to the table. And I think everyone's very excited for a new chapter here. So welcome. Let me be the first to say we're glad you're here and we appreciate you making the move and bringing our little city into the national attention, hopefully.
Okay, well, thanks, Lauren, and thanks for having me today. And I appreciate you and what you do.